Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm B, and in today's video we are going to be swapping screen time for writing time for a week. I've seen so many booktubers do this with reading time, but I knew I wanted to do it with writing time, especially for this week because I'm coming off of a dry spell for not writing in general, because I am a creative writing major, so I've written a lot in the past few months, but for writing my novel, which I haven't really touched since my last writing vlog. So you could say this is kind of a way to break out of a writing slump. These past few days I've noticed that I reach for my phone so much throughout the day, and while a lot of it is important stuff like responding to messages and emails, a lot of it is doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and just things that aren't a great use of my time. And honestly, I've noticed a correlation between my mental health and how much I'm on my phone. So I figured this challenge would be a great way to use the time I would spend on my phone for more productive things such as writing for the week, and we'll see how much writing I can get done and how much progress I can make in project conditions attached. So here's a breakdown of my analytics for my screen time. I'm really exposing myself here. Here's my screen time for the past week. So as you can see, last week's average was 4 hours and 44 minutes, which, I mean, at least it's angel numbers. I don't know. Let's ignore the fact that TikTok is my most used app. That's actually so sad. My average for Monday was 3 hours and 3 minutes, which isn't terrible. Tuesday, 1 hour, 21 minutes. Wednesday, 5 hours, 43 minutes. Thursday, 7 hours and 25 minutes. Friday, 4 hours and 51 minutes. Okay, so there are two ways I see people generally do this, which is taking the average of the week and just having that be the time goal for every single day, or doing the different amount of hours each day, which I think is more chaotic, and I love that. So I'm gonna be doing that option. So today is day one, it's Monday, and we have a goal of 3 hours and 3 minutes. I love it. We're starting off light for the week. I know it's gonna get pretty crazy as the week goes on. So at least we're not diving right off into the deep end, which is especially great because I find the first few words after not having written in so long are usually the hardest. So let's see how this is gonna go. I think we should just get right into it. Now that we have our coffee, which is a necessity, we are gonna get into the writing for the day. I started the timer. We have 3 hours going, and I'm gonna open up my Scrivener, and I'm not just gonna start writing right away because when I haven't opened a novel that I'm working on in a while, I find it so important to get reaccustomed with where I'm at in the story, so where I am on the plot line, and looking at my outline to see where I'm gonna be next or what I'm gonna be writing next, and also getting reaccustomed to the characters and their voices, especially the main POV, which I'm writing from. I write in first person present tense most of the time, and that's what I'm writing for this novel. And yeah, getting re-familiar with the voice is so important. I want the tone to be consistent throughout, obviously. The great thing is that I have my Racon planner, which has all of my like story building information on there, like the theme, the plot, character arcs, the character building, and then my Milanote profile for my characters that I made recently. So I'm just gonna give those a skim. It'll be super helpful for getting reaccustomed to my novel, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing back. I have like, I think 7 chapters or 6. I am not going to read all of them because I know that I will not be able to resist editing if I stumble across something that could be better, which is probably going to be like all of it because it's the first draft. But I am going to reread the last chapter, the latest chapter that I just wrote, just so it can be like super consistent with this new chapter I'm going to write, because I left off at the end of a chapter. So at least we'll be getting like a fresh start because I'll be writing a new chapter today. So let's open up Scrivener. It's been a while. I miss this. I miss it so much. Okay, this is where I'm at. Like I said, I'm on a new chapter, so chapter 7, and I'm at 14,977 words. So that's the starting word count for this challenge, and I can't wait to see what we're at by the end of it. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is the face of a girl who just had such a good writing session. First of all, I actually wasn't on chapter 7. I reread chapter 6 and realized that I didn't finish it off. I thought I did. No. So I'm still on chapter 6, just finished it off, and I love it. The writing, as always, for a first draft. That's all I'm gonna say. But again, like I've said many times before, as a writer, you just have to push through those crappy words in the first draft. Know that most books on your shelf that you love had really bad first draft writing and got a lot more polished and clean and beautiful in future revisions. So that's what I tell myself over and over again when I write stuff, and I'm like, ugh. But anyways, plot-wise and dialogue-wise, I love what I just did. I'm kind of discovery writing, which I do for a lot of my first drafts, with a mix of plotting. So I'm planting Is that the term? I have an outline for what I want to happen in each chapter, but of course I don't have it planned to the exact detail of what conversations are going to be had and blah blah blah. And sometimes when you're writing, it just takes you in a different direction. So the ending for this, I don't know what I wanted it to be when I started writing it, but it went somewhere completely else as I was writing it, and I'm really happy with it. And so now chapter 7 is going to be different than what I have in my outline because I just came up with it on the spot, and I'm so happy with it. That's just the most exciting part, I feel like, about writing, is when you're writing and it just takes you somewhere exciting. So yeah, I usually do like writing sprints when I'm writing, where I will pull up a live stream where someone's hosting a writing sprint and follow along, or I'll just do my own sprints, especially reading sprints, where I will write for like 25 minutes, read for 5 minutes as a little break. But just to get into it, I kind of just wanted to write for as long as possible, and that's it. So I'm just gonna keep doing that until I find that I'm like, okay, I need a break, and then I will pick up the romance novel that I'm reading. But yeah, it's going delightfully well right now. Okay, that is messy. Don't look at that. I'm now at 15,000 words. Woo woo. Maybe I should just, clean my bed so I don't have to do that. This looks weird. Anyway, but I stopped filming on my phone and then got distracted on my phone, which defeats the whole purpose of this challenge. So I think that just proves that I need to take a break. So I'm gonna pull out my book, read for a bit, and then get back to writing. Please don't judge me. I'm still reading The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Boston. If you watched my last writing vlog, I think I was reading that in not vlog 2. I've been reading this book for a while now. It's nothing to do with the book. It's just like I haven't had much time to write. Lately, I haven't also had much time to read, but I'm almost done this. I think I have like a few pages left. It's really good so far. This is about Clementine, who's the main character, who's recently lost her aunt, and with that, a part of herself, like the part of herself who kind of like lived life to the fullest. But that all changes when she meets love interest Ewan, I-W-A-N, I don't know how to pronounce that, Ewan. And through him, he kind of re-sparks that part of her, except there's a catch. He's from 7 years in the past. This has like a little bit of a magical element to it in that way. And yeah, I'm liking it. It's really good so far. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but I am liking it, and I've highlighted a lot of quotes that just hit. Like it has really good life messages in it. Not super duper duper invested with the romance plot in it, but I'm excited to see how this ends. Timer is done. Guys, I've just been writing. That now my eyes kind of hurt. I moved to my bed and left my blue light glasses at my desk and was way too lazy to get them, so that's my bad. But the timer went off. We are done. And are you ready to see how many words we got for today? Okay, it's 3:25 and I have 16,000, almost 17k words, and 1.9k words for the day, and 1.6k words in chapter 7. That is where we're at. So happy with how this is going, and I will check back in with you guys tomorrow for day 2 of this challenge. Morning. Today's screen time / writing time is 1 hour and 21 minutes. Yay! I mean, I had a great writing session yesterday, but I do have a lot to do for my marketing job today, so I'm glad we have a chill goal for today. I'm also going to the bookstore with my friend today. We want to get the sequel to The Neighbor Favor, which I read recently, because we loved that book so much, and the sequel recently came out, so we're gonna go get it. Yeah. Hey guys, I am back from the bookstore with Annika. It's not a great content creator day. I was like, I'm gonna do a like TikTok come book shopping with me thing while I was there. And I took a few clips for that, but I get so lost in the moment that I'm like, I forget to take content, which is so bad. And then also I forgot to take horizontal ones for the vlog. Like, how do people do it? Like, take content they can use for like TikTok and YouTube. Like, I will get there one day, I promise. I'm so sorry, but we are back. That was so much fun. I love book shopping so much. Even when I'm like not buying a lot of books, I only bought that one book that I was talking about. I'll show it in a second because I'm saving money for Europe, and I'm like, I cannot be spending money. But it's still such a vibe, just being surrounded by books. It's so motivating as an aspiring author. I am a writer. To just see so many published books and just to imagine my book there one day. And I love going to Annika. She also is reading. We want to start a book club at some point. So hey, if you're a book girly in the Ontario area, look out for me. I'm sending a post one day looking for some book girlies to join our book club. That'd be so fun. Anyway, I totally forgot that I'm supposed to write for an hour today. It's been a low productivity day, I'm gonna be so honest. So I'm going to grind out some work for my job. I did some this morning. I want to get some more done now. So we're gonna probably have like a later writing session. And then tomorrow I have a lot planned. I have a meeting for my job at like 12 p.m. And then I think I'm supposed to like the amount of hours I have to work on my writing project is a lot longer. And I have a meeting at 8 with my friends to plan more for a trip. So fun stuff. It's gonna be a hectic day. So I do want to get to bed early. So catch up back up with you guys when I write. Not me almost forgetting to show you the book. Here she is. It's The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. Her first book was The Neighbor Favor, and it followed this main character's sister. And I love that book so much. My rating is on Goodreads. My friend and I both loved it, so we were so excited for this one. And yeah, adding this to my May TBR. Okay, it's like 7:30 and it's officially time to start the timer for an hour and 21 minutes. I'm so tired, so I'm probably gonna sleep right after this, but I'm excited to get back into my story. I was really having fun writing yesterday and I liked the part I was at. And I'm pretty sure I ended in the middle of a scene, which is my favorite when I get to my novel or when I get to my work in progress and I'm midway through a scene because it's so much easier to just get into it. So let's start. Wednesday, it's day 3, and today we have 5 hours and 43 minutes. Oh, listen, I have all the reason for this to be successful. I mean, I have nowhere I have to go today. I had a meeting for my work, but it got canceled, and I'm meeting with my friends at 8 in the evening to plan our trip some more, but that's it. That's absolutely it. The reason I'm nervous about this is because yesterday I had an hour and 21 minutes, and that in and of itself was a struggle. I think yesterday itself was just probably one of the most unproductive days I've ever had. I only had the bookstore to go to, and I woke up at 7 a.m. Yet I barely did anything yesterday. I just did a couple things for my marketing job, and then the hour and 21 minutes where I got some writing in. And mind you, I did not get a lot of words in because I was so tired at that point. I think it's because I woke up early without having gone to bed like super early the night before. So my brain was like, I was just getting distracted by my own thoughts. There was nothing to distract me. I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't watching. I just got distracted. Up here, I don't know. It was just the most unproductive day I've ever had, where you see a bunch of hours go by and you're like, what did I do in those hours? So here's to hoping that today we can be a lot more productive. We're starting fairly early. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna make some coffee because coffee is needed today. Probably gonna need rounds of caffeine, but I'm good. I usually do like 2 cups of coffee, but I just got some Magic Mind, a new shipment of Magic Mind, or like energy productivity shots. So that's fantastic. I can use that as like a second round. But yeah, we're gonna start off with some coffee and we're gonna get right into it. And I mean right into it. Wish me luck, guys. My mom and I ordered new espresso pods. We love ordering the Starbucks ones on Amazon just because it's more convenient. Like, we don't have any Nespresso stores near us. The day that happens, I will be trying all of the Nespresso pods like from their company. But anyway, I think I ordered the wrong one because I've never seen this green color. I thought it was the same one we got last time. But this one says chocolate and toasted nut notes. That sounds so good. So we're gonna do a taste test together and I will report back and tell you guys my thoughts on it. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Life hack that my mom and I discovered is you can use your Nespresso pod twice, or it's just because I haven't configured the settings for this correctly to correctly dispense the amount in one pod. But we'll take the second pod again, like we'll just let it dispense into our hand and then like re-put it in and then hit button again, and look how much coffee there still is. Like, yes, it's more watered down, but like if you're someone who doesn't like your coffee as strong, definitely try to use it for a second batch. Okay, time to try this. It's really hot. I mean, I don't taste chocolate at all, but it tastes good. It just tastes like coffee. But I like. Okay, this is the setup only because it's so early and I can't fathom sitting at my desk right now. But oh my goodness, it's such a beautiful day. It's so bright and I can hear birds chirping. It just makes me so happy. That was random. Anyway, I like the idea of just starting off with the writing session, no sprints, just like I did on Monday. And then when I feel like I need a break is when I will take my first break. And then I'll probably do sprints so I can go back and forth between doing some work for my marketing job and then doing this. I am such a morning writer. Like, I think that was the issue with with yesterday was trying to write so late. I just love the morning atmosphere and then writing. It's just the best. So I'm excited. Yesterday we surpassed 17k words, which is so crazy. So crazy. Like, I know it's not a lot, but I haven't written in weeks, maybe months. So progress is progress, and I'm happy and I'm excited to get back into this. And we will start the timer. I'll start it as soon as I'm done filming. So we will start the timer and get right to it. Guys, oh my goodness, I had to show you this because this is what I'm like listening to in the background while I write. Usually I do a fireplace because I love it, but then I was like, I want to switch it up. This one is, that's the title in case you want to know what it is. Look at how like beautiful and serene this is. I literally am obsessed. Like, the way I'm so excited for my camping trip now, which is gonna be in August. Stunning! Hi guys! Okay, the timer is done. I have not moved from this spot since I talked to you guys last, so I've been here for like the past 6 hours, which is crazy to me, but I've just been doing some marketing work and writing, so I've been going back and forth between the both of them, and I paused when I did marketing work just so that I actually wrote for the whole timer. But yeah, overall really productive day so far, especially compared to yesterday, so I'm really happy about that. Writing wise, I wrote 1,181 words, and I'm at 2,780 words in chapter 7. So considering how much time I had today, I wouldn't say that this is a lot. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot to me, but sometimes that happens. Like for this one, the writing didn't like flow completely. I am slightly discovery writing, right? So I was slowly thinking my way through what I was writing for this part because I didn't fully know where the scene would go, but I am really happy with what I wrote. I'm a little worried that I'm progressing Ethan and Ava's relationship a little too much too fast because I am on chapter 7. But at the same time, I feel like a romance shouldn't be too much of a slow burn because you have to see potential in order to keep reading. And I kind of like to do the 2 steps forward, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back at the beginning. So it's like a cute moment advancing in a relationship, and then something that happens where you're like, oh, yep, that's why they don't like each other. Boop, boop, boop. Like, if that makes sense. But I think at the end of the day, this is something that is way more obvious to me in later drafts. Like when I reread this, I'll be able to see if the romantic progression is too fast or too slow or too flip-floppy. It's not going to be easy to see it now, especially with how sporadically I've been writing this draft, but when I read it back, I'll definitely be able to see it clear. So I'm not worried about it too much right now. You guys, today is Wednesday, Thursday. It's day 4. I'm trying to get this to stay up. And we have to write for 7 hours and 25 minutes. It's crazy. So that's the longest time that we will have this week. I'm starting this a little late. It's like 1 o'clock. So you know what? I'm just going to start the timer and we're going to keep it going for the whole 7 hours because it's a long amount of time. That's the only way this will work out. And this will definitely be my longest writing session yet in the longest time. So let's see how it goes. I already did a bunch of marketing stuff for my marketing job this morning. So I'm still feeling super productive. I got semi-ready and put on workout clothes, so I feel more put together and more motivated to be productive and also hopefully get a workout in at some point today. But I'm so excited, terrified, but also super excited. So let's write. Wait, guys. I just got my backpack for Europe. I'm so excited. This is what it looks like. My friend's been to Europe before, the one we're going with, and she bought this exact backpack, but in black because she said it was really good because if you have this, you can like check it in, no extra cost on flight, and it's better than lugging a suitcase everywhere around Europe when you go from country to country. So I have to fit everything I need in this backpack, but I'm so excited. I have only ever brought, okay, I was gonna get it, but that's too much work. It's at the very top. My pink suitcase, like my carry-on. Every vacation I go, I fit everything in my carry-on. I never bring like a big suitcase. So I'm hoping this, like I can manage to fit everything I need in this. I have 3 weeks, but it's pretty big. My friends and I all got it in different colors. And I just have to show you because I'm so excited. This makes me feel like a backpacker. I've never like backpacked. Put like the romance beats from Gwen Hayes' Romance the Beats beat sheet in my Scrivener because now I can just like look at it to reference it. I put it there for my other YA novel that I'm working on, Project ITL, and then I use the same template, so it just transferred over to here. But this is helpful for me because Save the Cat, while it's good, it's more geared towards non-romance genres. I find this paired with Save the Cat very helpful. So yeah, I just follow the different beats. I've done their intros, the meet cute, the no way beat, the adhesion plot, plot thrust, which happened very quickly. It's that they inherited the house together. The No Way 2, and now they're kind of like in this area, the Inkling. I think Inkling, I wouldn't even say maybe it's like a little bit like in between these two. So I guess I gotta start venturing onto maybe this could work in the midpoint of love plot thrust. So that's where I'm at. Okay, you guys, it's been a couple hours. I honestly feel like I am failing this challenge just because like today's like one of the longest days, 7 hours, and we have 3 hours left, and I feel like I have not written a lot. Like I've had my document open, I've had my work in progress open, but I've done a lot of writing that doesn't result in like words on the page. It's just like me thinking a lot about like what I want to happen next, because I want everything to be intentional the way I go into a scene. And then sometimes obviously my characters will take me somewhere else, like out of my outline, and then I have to find a way to reel it back in or decide if I want to just scrap what I planned originally and just go with what is naturally happening, but still keep the main essence of what I wanted to convey. And like it's just so much thinking that I've been doing today for this new chapter. And so I have a really low word count, but I'm not gonna let that get me down or make me feel like a failure, because at least I'm still working on my novel. Like it's not just about the word count. I have to remind myself like I'm actively working on it, and I honestly like that I'm being more intentional rather than like trying to quickly just move from one chapter to the next, because hopefully it just results in less of a knot to untangle when I get to draft 2. So that's my little update. I also found out that I was subconsciously doing something with my chapters, which is that like each chapter is them accomplishing something on the list. And I think that's so cute. I wanted to play around with like chapter titles because I love when books have chapter titles, and I did it for like the 3rd chapter because I just thought like when I was writing I thought of a name for that chapter, so I put the chapter title, and that title was related to the item they were completing on the list. And then I realized I just like looked at my little outline thing on Scrivener that all of my chapters are them completing something in the list. Like other things are going on, but in each chapter it's only like one thing per like the list. So like if I wanted to do chapter names, I could easily just name it after the thing on the list, but do like a quirky little fun title, which is just something fun I discovered. Anyway, I'm currently on chapter 8. Guys, don't hate me. Don't hate me. I'm taking a Minecraft break. I paused the timer. I couldn't resist the temptation. We'll check back in. The timer is done and I am going to sleep. Morning, you guys. Why was I gonna say Wednesday? Why can I not get the days of the week right? Like, oh my gosh. Happy Friday. It is the last day of this challenge, and we are gonna be writing for 5 hours and 22 minutes. Now, I decided to make a plan for today to test out a new strategy to see if I can be more productive with this use of time, and that's to spread the time out throughout the day. Because usually I'll do just leave the timer going for one session with a few breaks in between, or 2 sessions at most. But I wanna really spread out this time throughout the day. So we're starting this semi-early. It's 9:46. It's not that early. But I'm going to start off with, I don't know, an hour of the 5 hours, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2, and then pause, do other stuff for the day, and then do another session, and then take a substantial break, and then do other stuff. So really spread it out instead of like a 20-minute break, 30, you know what I mean? And we're going to see if I can be more productive. I made my first energy drink of the day. I didn't want to start off with coffee on an empty stomach because that's been giving me issues. So I'm like, we're gonna have a productivity shot first. So I use Magic Mind, which is a productivity shot, and then almond milk, and I'm in the mood for an iced drink. And I'm gonna sit on my couch and get to writing. Okay, I'm all ready to go. I've got my book 2 because I do want to get a little bit of reading in. I'm like so close to being done, if you can see. Sorry, this lighting is absolutely horrendous, but I will give you my thoughts on the book when I'm done because I'm almost done it. But yes, let's open up Scrivener. Guys, I just had a eureka moment for a part that I was stuck on, and I'm so happy about it. Maybe I should elaborate. The part I was stuck on was the subplot. It just did not feel right to me. It's always such a struggle for me to find one that seamlessly weaves together with the central plot and isn't like 2 completely different stories being told, or just seems like I'm forcing 2 things together. But I just found one that works amazingly with not only the central plot of Ethan and Ava's romance and they're fighting over the house and everything like that, also the other subplot, emotional subplot of Ava grappling with grief and her fatal flaw of pushing people away, not trying to form close relationships. And I just found a subplot that works really well. So I'm really, really happy about that. It means I'm gonna have to change a few things around, but I'm okay with that. It's not a lot, and I'm glad I figured that out now at like chapter 8 rather than way later down the road. Like usually subplot for me is like something that could change even in the second draft, third draft. So, well, that was only for Project Soulmates. Project ITL, the subplot was like pretty easy for me to figure out. I think I had it in draft 1, but this one was hard. So I'm glad I figured that out. Now I'm gonna eat breakfast. It's 12 p.m. I'm gonna pause the timer, eat breakfast, take a little break, like force myself to, I think I'm gonna read. Guys, all right, sorry, my cat just got startled. Sorry, Prince. I finished the 7-Year Slip. This was literally so good. And this one really hit for me, not just because of the romance. Like I loved the romance, but it wasn't like anything super special, but it had so much substance through the way it explored its deeper messages of dealing with grief and the loss of yourself through losing someone you love. And I think that part spoke to me the most, but I did also love the unique concept of the main character meeting a guy 7 years in the past and then exploring this newfound dynamic with him in the present as he's changed, she's changed, and it changes the way she sees him. And I don't want to spoil any, but this was just so beautifully told, beautifully written, and I annotated and highlighted so many passages in this because there are so many good messages. But yeah, so I'm officially finished this, and I think while I eat, I'm going to find a new book to read. I'm gonna listen to Yellowface while I make breakfast. It's one of the books I chose for my May TBR. I did a video on that where I like to use TBR prompts to pick my May TBR, and I'm so happy that I chose it because I knew that I would love it. I just knew, and so far I do. I'm like 50% of the way through. I've been listening to this like nonstop for the past couple days, like while I'm doing other things. I love to listen to audiobooks, like while I'm making food or doing laundry, things like that. I've been loving the book so much. As a writer, I love reading books about other writers, especially because this one is so like a lot of parts of it are so relatable. Not everything, because some of it is a little over the top. I mean, the main character literally steals her friend's novel when she dies and publishes it as her own, and she kind of like justifies it in a way to herself and to us as readers too. Like there are times where you're like, she says something and you're like, you know, is what she's doing so wrong? I don't know. It's just super interesting. You also get to see glimpses of the publishing industry, which motivates me so much for writing, but also not all of it is sunshine and rainbows. Like she kind of gives an insight into the darker sides of, you know, publishing and being a best-selling author and, you know, potentially receiving hate and all of that stuff. But it's so good. I'm loving it. These are the books on my TBR. Obviously, I'm reading Yellowface right now, audiobook version, but I want to choose a romance to read alongside it now that I'm done 7-Year Slip. So I always have to be reading a romance while I'm writing. For writing, whatever genre you're writing. Because a tip for writing is to read a bunch in that same genre that you're writing. So obviously, my only option in this TBR is the American Roommate Experiment, but I'm really happy with that because I really want to read this. I read The Spanish Love Deception, and this one is the second book. It's not like a continuous series. It just follows the main character of The Spanish Love Deception's best friend, but it sounds so good, and the main character is a romance writer. So super excited to read this. I made some coffee because it is like my mid-afternoon slump and it tastes amazing. I am ready to write again, and you guys, I know a lot of you have commented saying that you like watching my writing vlogs because it gives you writing motivation, which first of all means a lot to me. Second of all, I totally get because I also love to watch other writing vlogs for writing motivation. So if you need a recommendation, I got you. Jack Edwards usually posts book videos. You guys probably know who Jack Edwards is, but he also writes, and he doesn't post a lot of writing content, but he posted a vlog recently that's I moved to my dream house to write a book in Seoul, Korea, and I just finished watching it and it gave me so much motivation. Literally will not be offended if you click away from this and go watch it. Like if you need a writing motivation boost, I highly recommend watching it. Like the vibes are just amazing. The house he's staying at in Korea looks like a writer and book lover's dream, and the way he talks about his writing process is just it makes me so excited to read it, and it's also super motivating. And it's fueling my desire to go on a solo writing retreat. That's been my dream for so long, and I'm waiting till after I graduate to do it, and I'm graduating at the end of this year. So next year I want to plan a solo writing retreat. I don't know exactly where yet. I'm thinking New York or Paris. Now after seeing this, I'm like, Korea looks amazing, but I think I'd want to start off somewhere closer to home if I'm going to be going alone on this trip. So maybe New York. But it's making me so excited to have a trip where I just dedicate it to reading and writing and fueling that creative spark. Ugh, like I cannot wait. I would obviously vlog it for you guys, but it just made me so excited. Anyway, so I'm gonna restart the timer. I feel like I've had a decent enough break. I've read, I watched some YouTube, and now I'm excited and ready to write again. You guys, the way ChatGPT just helped me with my novel, I was like trying to think of some more things to add to the list, because just from like where I'm at in the novel, I'm realizing that I will need more to make this a longer novel than what I already have planned out for the rest of the few chapters. And I was like thinking of ideas, just like fill some spots. And I was like, okay, you know what, I don't know what to do. So I put in ChatGPT, like I put in like my blurb of like what my story is, and then I sent in like a prompt with the list of that I already came up with, plus a little description of like why each thing is on the list. Like this is to, and like what it accomplishes in the story. Like for example, one of the items on Maggie's list, by the way, for what Ethan and Ava are to do is meant to, it's like a fun way to drive them closer together while also encouraging them to step out of their comfort zones. So one of the items on the list is host a dinner party for your friends. You each have to invite at least 2. Ava, like I said, doesn't form relationships with people. She doesn't really have friends. She's someone who's content with being alone, and which, you know, relatable, but you need friendships to a certain extent in your life, and she doesn't want to form those bonds. So this is kind of a way to encourage her to actually form friendships, which kind of goes with the subplot, which is an environment that she enters that she could make friends. Anyway, I put in that list, and then I asked if it could come up with any more items to add to the list, and it listed a whole bunch of ideas, and a lot of them I was like, no, but one of them was volunteer together, and I was like, that is such a good one, because I can use this to show Ethan's endearing side towards animals, because he wants to be a vet, and this helps Ava shed the narrative, the picture she's painted of Ethan, which is obviously, because this is an enemies to lovers, inaccurate and incomplete. So this was all to say that sometimes if you need a little writing partner, ChatGPT is the way to go. I paused the timer. We're gonna take a break and work out. Cardio is honestly a great boost for my mental health, so I'm just gonna speed walk on the treadmill for a bit. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this challenge, the end of swapping screen time for writing time for a week. So we started this word count. We are now at 20,000 words, which means we wrote 5,000 words over the course of this week, which please no one do the math of how many words I wrote an hour. Not looking too pretty. I think it's just because I'm getting out of a writing slump, but I do want to try this challenge again in the future. It was actually really fun, and I like the idea of it not being like a huge amount of hours writing in a day, for example, like a 12-hour write-a-thon, except for that one day where we had 7 hours. And I like that it's like dedicating time each day to write, because it's 2 days later right now, and I've thought about my book yesterday, today, so it's getting me back into the daily habit of wanting to write. So I consider it a success just for that, and yeah, I'm really happy to continue with this writing project. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. And like always, best of luck on your writing projects, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!